Viva questions and answers for the Newton rings experiment. Why Newton rings is used? Newton rings is widely used for the quality control for any optical surfaces. What are Newton rings? In the Newton rings, we are defining that dark and bright fringes are formed due to the presence of the air film when the plano-convex lens is placed on a glass plate. What do you understand by the interference of light? When two light waves are from different surfaces of the coherent sources meet together, then the distribution of energy due to one wave is distributed by the other one. Then it creates the interference pattern in the pattern of the dark and bright fringes simultaneously. What are essential conditions for obtaining interference of light? Conditions for the interference of the light is, first one, source of light should be monochromatic and it should be the same frequency, and the direction of the waves should be in the same path. Is it possible to observe interference pattern by having two independent sources such as two sodium lamp? We can't obtain interference using two independent sources of the light, but it is possible only the one single source, which is create two coherent sources. Why are Newton rings are circular? As the lens is said to be symmetric along its axis, the thickness is said to be constant along the circumferences, which is of a ring of a given radius of the lens. Why a central ring is dark in Newton rings? Newton rings experiment with reflected light is dark because at the point of contact, the path difference of the light which is reflected is zero. Sometimes these rings are elliptical or distorted. Why? The rings are not perfectly circular because the plate may not be optically flat or some irregularities. The surface of the lens may not be the part of a perfect sphere, and the plate and the lens may not be perfectly clean. That means if there is any distorted or the dust particles are existed on the optical surface of the lens will cause us that some distortions in the Newton rings. Why do the rings get closer and finer as we move away from the center? Because the thickness of the air film increases as the square root of the distance. The spacing between the successive rings decreases as we move outward from the center of the periphery, the pattern. Formula for the radius and diameter of dark and bright fringes. Rn square is equal to n lambda r by mu. Using Rn is equals to dn by 2, we cannot write the following relation for